Chapter 6. The Concept of Financial Management and Performance Evaluation Indicators. Applications on Performance Evaluation. Finance Team Member. Hi, I've been trying to get a better grasp of financial management and how we can measure our company's performance. Could you help clarify some key indicators? Finance Manager. Sure. Financial management primarily involves planning, organizing, and controlling a company's financial resources. To evaluate performance effectively, we typically rely on several important indicators. Finance team member, like liquidity ratios? I've read that they show how well a company can cover its short-term liabilities. Finance manager. Exactly. For instance, the current ratio is a common liquidity ratio. It compares current assets to current liabilities to determine whether the company has enough short-term resources. Finance team member. I see. What about profitability margins? Finance manager, profitability margins, such as gross profit margin and operating profit margin, tell us how much of our revenue turns into profit after covering production costs and operating expenses. They give insight into the company's overall efficiency and cost management. Finance team. Member. How do we know if we're utilizing our assets effectively? Finance manager. That's where return on assets, ROA, and asset turnover ratios come into play. ROA shows how profitable a company is relative to its total assets, while the asset turnover ratio indicates how efficiently we're generating revenue from those assets. Finance team member. What about long-term financial stability? Finance manager. For that, we consider the debt-to-equity ratio and financial leverage. These indicators help us assess how much debt we're using to finance operations compared to our equity. A balanced ratio suggests that we're not overly reliant on borrowing. Finance team member and earnings per share, EPS, I hear that term often. Finance manager. EPS is a key measure of profitability on a per-share basis. It shows how much profit is available for shareholders and is often used to assess a company's financial health over time. Finance team member. Lastly, how do we know if we're managing our working capital well? Finance manager. Working capital management involves ensuring that the company can meet day-to-day financial obligations, monitoring cash flow, maintaining a healthy balance between receivables and payables, and ensuring enough liquidity all help us stay financially stable. Finance team member. Thanks. I think I have a clearer picture now. The next step is to apply these indicators to our performance reports. Finance manager. Exactly. By regularly tracking these indicators, we can make informed decisions and improve our overall financial management. Liquidity ratios, نسب السيولة, profitability margins, هوامش الربحية, return on assets, ROA, العائد على الأصول, debt to equity ratio, نسبة الدين إلى حقوق الملكية, earnings per share, EPS, ربحية السهم, working capital management, إدارة رأس المال العامل, operating profit margin, هامش الربح التشغيلي, monitoring flow analysis, مراقبة التدفقات النقدية, financial leverage, الرافعة المالية, asset turnover ratio, نسبة دوران الأصول, gross profit margin, هامش الربح الإجمالي. Regularly tracking these indicators. المتابعة المنتظمة لهذه المؤشرات.